Alright, here we are, another episode of the Drone Wars. There isn't really much of the galaxy left that needs to be explored. I mean, it's really just these 5 planets left, and then the whole galaxy is basically taken over. I mean, looking around, let's see who's doing the best and who's doing the worst. Jonfield over there only has 2 planets left. Their chances of winning are extremely low, if any. Um, Rogue Shipwrights over here, they're basically completely dead. They just have that one last planet, and they're gone. But they really cannot do anything. The Pirate Empire is in a really good spot. They pretty much have this entire corner to themselves now. The Federation's doing okay. They've definitely got their feet in multiple different areas, and they've kind of made a beeline for the middle, but that makes them really open to attack from everyone. And Delta is really just pushing them over here. I mean, I think it's kind of interesting that what's it called? Great Red Sun Army is actually just hugging the wall here. They're really just trying to take over these 2 quadrants. So yeah, we're gonna see if anything interesting happens with these factions today. I'll go ahead and we'll go on ahead and see what happens, I guess. All right, here we are. It's time for the first battle of this episode. So the New Galactic Alliance here, they've decided to pretty much spend like all of their money, and I'm really talking like all of it. They're pretty much broke now. They've decided to use their new shipyard level 2 to make a massive fleet, and they decided to then send that fleet over to Jonfield. Poor Jonfield over here. Yeah, so that fleet consists of a carrier, a battleship, a corvette, and a bunch of fighters, plus the fighters from that carrier and the battleship. So this is a very fighter-heavy fleet. This is ridiculous. And of course, they're going straight after Jonfield here, taking out their fortress world. So I'm gonna go start that battle, and I don't expect it to last too long. A lot of fighters will be lost, but I don't expect that base to last too long against a carrier and a battleship. I'll see you guys there. Alright, you're on Titan. I tried doing this battle once already, and the AI completely shut down and failed, so I'm doing it again. Anyways, here we are. We have this fortress here, and all the way over there we have the massive fleet that's coming in for Jonfield. Really unfortunate, but that's just how it is. So in this fleet we have their new Crusader carrier, which essentially bankrupted them. And then they have their Myrmidon battleship, which also has fighter carrying capabilities, and they have a Dart corvette. Now, this carrier here holds 8 fighters. This battleship over here holds 4, and they have an additional 6 fighters. That gives them a total of 18 fighters. And the funny thing is that pretty much every single ship in here has at least some kind of missile-based weapons. So it's a very missile-heavy fleet. Yeah, that poor fortress over there probably isn't going to be able to do much. We're going to go and declare war and go ahead and see the carnage that happens here. I mean, look at all those missiles coming out. And then all these fighters that start to see that base are going to start moving forward to attack. You can see one by one they're all just receiving instructions, just detecting the base and going towards it. Some of these fighters here have not detected the base yet, but they will soon, and they'll begin moving forward. I mean, that corvette and all the fighters are definitely moving in already. With the corvette leading the charge, it can absorb most of the damage, while the rest of the fighters pretty much just assist. This is absolutely insane. I mean, the fortress is trying to do whatever it can. There's so many fighters moving in. We already got some missiles moving in, trying to take out that corvette. And these fighters are going low here. They should start firing the missiles soon. And then if they get close enough, they'll be able to use their main weapon, which is a lot more dangerous than the missiles. See, the base is definitely trying to fire at the enemies way off in the distance, but as the fighters get closer, they'll soon start using their other weapons. There we go, it's Centuries of Light showdown here. It's the fighters in the Corvette. The Corvette is going down towards the enemy here, trying to do its best. They're definitely trying their best to take out that main gun, because that's the most dangerous thing for for the capital ships moving in. That Corvette definitely did a pretty good job there. These fighters are all a little bit too high up to be using their main weapons. They're all being taken out by those turrets. These turrets are very dangerous to those fighters, but not too dangerous for the other capital ships. So a whole lot of missiles coming in the battleship there. And over here you can see that the Crusader is now just entering battle here with all of its weapons. We're just gonna rain gunfire onto the base. All these defenses are trying their best, but I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's anywhere near enough. These defenses are doing their best, but they're just being taken out really quickly. And it's still just raining fighters up above. These fighters are just doing hit and runs on the base at this point. I mean, the base still has a few functional weapons, but it's trying its best. I don't think it has. No, it still has a few. They're just trying to shoot down missiles at this point. Massive explosions coming out of the base at this point. It's amazing seeing the Corvette is still alive here. And this fortress was not prepared at all for this kind of threat. Yeah, I don't think there's any defense left on this base at all. It's completely finished. And it's just raining bullets. Well, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna end the battle here. I think it's pretty clear that the fortress could not defend against this at all. I mean, there were little, if any, casualties at all on the from the attacking fleet here. I mean, they still have their carrier, they still have their battleship, their Corvette is still intact, and I'm pretty sure they have more than 6 fighters, so yeah, they really have not taken any casualties whatsoever. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next battle. Well, the Alliance has successfully taken over a Jonfield Fortress world, right over here, leaving Jonfield with only their home world left. Poor Jonfield over there is pretty much screwed at this point. they might have a chance if the Federation decides to send their fleet over here. Then Jonfield can actually maybe expand just a little bit down. That's pretty much their only chance. But if they decide to just go up, then Jonfield's pretty much dead. However, on the opposite side of the Alliance's Zilla Empire here, they've decided, well, we have a lot going on over here with the Great Red Sun Empire, so we're going to go and send one of our first fleets. In fact, the first fleet ever, Fleet 1. Well, they've decided to send that over to this fortress world over here on the Earth-like grasslands planet. So, we're going to go over here, do this quick battle, and we're going to see if the fortress is going to repel this fleet. If so, that'll be the end of the first fleet that was ever created in this series. Alright, I'll see you guys at the battlefield. Alright, here we are on the Earth-like planet, here in the grasslands. So here's the first fleet ever. It's just one Raptor Corvette and one light fighter here, and they're going to take on this fortress. It's again a level 1 fortress, owned by the Great Red Sun Empire. Pretty sure if I do another season of this, I'm actually going to make the fortresses all look different for each faction. But that's something for another time. We're going to go ahead and begin this fight. We're going to see who wins. I mean, I don't know about you, but I think the fortress might win this one. Alright, here they go. These two ships are very fast, so they're going to be able to easily avoid that main cannon. If a main cannon hits, then it's pretty much an instant kill. So they gotta be really careful. Alright, they're doing their best evasive maneuvers. I'll go ahead and teleport myself over closer to the fortress itself so we can see them entering battle. You can see the Corvette is going up. There's already some shots coming in, going for that fighter. The fighter might start taking some hits, which is not great for it. Oh yeah, it's definitely taking some hits. It's trying to gain to range up. Nope, it's been hit by missiles. I think he lost his gyros. Oh, he's definitely going down. Yep, completely disintegrated. So now these weapons should be going after that Corvette up there. It's just up to the Corvette now. Those missiles are doing a fair amount of damage. Massive hit. Yeah, this Corvette might be going down. Really soon. I think the hit just grazed the top range, not the top, as they want him to do it. This Corvette's definitely trying. Oh, he's gonna crash next to the fortress. He's still capable of flight. He's trying to get back up. It's definitely taking a lot of hits here. It's hitting the ground pretty hard there. It's definitely lost a lot of his gyros. Yeah, I don't think this is flying anymore. That's about it. That's the end of the first fleet. I'll see you guys back at the board, and we'll see what the Federation does, or if anything happens. Alright, we're back. at the board. So yeah, the Alliance over there, they definitely expanded out in this direction, which is great. They did build that massive fleet, which gives them a huge advantage over pretty much everyone else. They definitely have the most powerful fleet out of all the factions so far. They did try attacking the Great Red Sun Empire over there, but they've completely failed. The Federation over here, what they've decided to do, their fleet that was here, reinforcing that fleet, they've decided that the Alliance is a bigger threat than Jonfield, so they've decided to move their fleet over here. So that prevents the Alliance from basically flanking them this way and going down to their homeworld. That's a really smart move. So now they've pretty much defended this side over here from the advances of the Alliance. Also, if the Alliance really wanted to, if they have a fleet over here, they could just move down here. They do have a fleet here, though, that is protected. So what they've decided to do is they've got on one of their other fleets here, Fleet 8. They've moved it from the Toxic Lake planet, and they're really worried about the pirate threat down here. So what they decided to do is to move that fleet down here to try and take over the Earth-like Lake planet here, which of course is defended by an entire fleet of fighters. So that's going to be interesting. I'll see you guys over at that battle. Alright, here we are at the lake. So over here, it's just going to be a simple tournament battle. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in the first ship over here. Simple rules. Basically, I spawn one ship from one fleet, one ship from the other, and it is chosen randomly. And basically, winning ship stays where it is, and then we spawn a ship from the next to the other fleet randomly. Pretty straightforward. So I'm going to go ahead and set this ship over here to an enemy and make sure to grab everything. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to spawn in the other ship here. Where is it? Pretty much just wing fighters. Shouldn't take all that long. Alright. I wish them luck. Didn't even give him a chance to fight back. He's trying to fly away at this point, but he's lost all of his weapons. Ouch. Oh, there he goes into the ground. There is nothing left of that fighter. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and remove the debris, and we're going to spawn in the next fighter. I wish him luck. So if you look over here, so this fighter is doing it better because it's actually able to fire missiles this time. The thing is that frigate does have anti-missile countermeasures. It's trying to fire missiles. Yeah, the fighter just disintegrated. Alright, time for the next fighter. We go and just update the roster real quick. There we go. Those missiles will do a little bit of damage, but not too much. This frigate is actually fairly well armored from the sides. Those missiles don't do enough damage to really do much. You see the front of it is sort of rumpled, I guess, wrinkled, and just torn a little bit, but other than that, nothing much. This fighter really is struggling. In fact, I think it's completely dead at this point. There it goes. Alright, next fighter. So this time he has a little bit of a range advantage. But even then, he's still being fired at from really far away. He's just gonna try to fire more missiles and do his best. Ouch. They just sent him flying. The aren't even gonna let him go back to the ground. At this point, they're just gonna send that debris up to orbit. And they're just launching him around like a ball. Well, that poor fighter didn't last too long. Okay, at the end of the roster, there should be only one fighter left. There we go. It's the last fighter trying to do whatever it can with those missiles. Ooh, those railguns pretty much just instantly tore him a new one. And he's going down to the ground. That's one way to get rid of a fighter. Alright, so the Federation has completely won this fight using just a single ship. So that was somewhat interesting. I mean, don't know what I expected. Fighters won't do too much to a frigate. I'll see you guys at the board, and we'll go ahead and update it from there. Alright, so a few interesting things are going on here. So the Federation did successfully move down here, which is great. I mean, the pirates are starting to lose them more, and the Federation is now the most powerful in terms of the amount of the galaxy they've conquered. The pirates are kind of being pushed down here. Jonfield over there is still alive somehow. They have their homeworld, and they decided to do the smartest thing possible. Instead of, making a fleet and then sending that fleet out to pretty much certain death, they've decided to max out their fleets and build 3 entire fleets entirely of fighters. Which is a really big deterrent for these other factions because, do you really want to send your fleets to fight like 15 fighters? I mean, granted you might win, but still, that's a lot of battles. And that's a big waste of time. So, these AI might rethink that and think about going after each other. I mean, it makes those other homeworlds pretty well defended for now. They don't have enough money for a frigate, which is really unfortunate, but at least they have a bunch of fighters now. If by some miracle the Federation decides to go after this over here, then they can actually just go this way, which would be like a miracle of them just go here. Actually, that'd be great. But that's that over there. Moving down over here towards Delta. Well, Delta decided to move their fleet that's just been sitting here for a while and move it up there to, protect their worlds a little bit. I mean, that puts a slight dent in the Great Red Sun Empire's plans that they wanted to go after the Fortress world, but they might just go around. Yeah, the Delta shipyards also didn't want to miss out on what all the other factions are doing, so they've turned their ocean planet here into a level 2 shipyard. So that gives them a massive boost. That means that when they have enough money, they can make a massive 10-ship fleet if they really wanted to. And of course, the last thing they're going to do for their turn is that they're going to send their single battleship from the alien snowfields over here. They really want this ship. I was going to say shipyard, but it's not a shipyard, it's a fortress world. They really want this fortress world out of here. They want to make sure to really cut this empire in half, leaving that planet all by itself. So they're sending a battleship right here. This actually puts them right on the edge of the Federation as well, which is interesting. Federation and Delta shipyards are about to meet for the first time. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and see what this battle is like, and it's like a desert. Just one Phantom battleship versus one level 1 fortress. I'll see you guys there. Alright, here we are. We're in the middle of the desert. As you can see here, it's just a level 1 fortress. And all the way off in the distance over here, we have just a single Phantom battleship. This is going to be an interesting fight, because the Phantom is specifically designed to be an atmospheric battleship, but it works pretty well in space as well. It's pretty well rounded off. It doesn't have the most weapons, but it's pretty balanced, using mostly kinetic weapons, with a few missiles. Mostly closer range missiles, but we'll see what happens. Here we go. The battleship is going to fire its 2 long-range missiles that it has, and it's going to try its best to get in close without dying. So massive hit goes right by it, just narrowly dodges it. This ship is pretty well armored, so it's going to do its best to try and survive this. It is starting to take some hits. It's going to start entering weapons range now. And here we go. Another shot narrowly misses it. The missiles are starting to hit. It has a pretty good frontal armor plate there to make sure it doesn't take too much damage, and it's firing as many missiles as it possibly can. Those are going to overwhelm the point defense. Massive hit going straight through the entire ship. That's definitely not healthy. I mean, it definitely tore a chunk out of it here. Still operational, still trying. I think they've disabled the main cannon, which is great. Yeah, they've completely disabled the main cannon. It's disconnected, so they won't have to deal with any massive hits like that again. But they still have to disable the rest of the turrets to win this fight. And that hit really disabled a lot of the systems here. That might have torn out its AI as well, but it still seems to be relatively intact. Still flying, still trying to fire away with everything it's got. All these point defenses are doing their best to keep those missiles away, but there's just so many coming out of that battleship. And then those cannons are doing a lot of damage as well. These autocannons are doing their best to defend. If they can pierce that frontal plate, then they might be able to do enough damage to actually take it down. You can see they're just digging in. They mainly take out those larger thrusters towards the back there, if they want to make it go down. It appears the ship is taking so much damage that its emergency systems are always starting to turn on. The thing is that its timers may have been partially destroyed, so I don't know if it can actually launch its pods or not. Actually, I don't even know if there's pods left.
Military alert.
Yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, those escape pods are like barely even intact, if at all. They just need to disable all these cannons. They're very quickly losing turrets here, which is not great. As you can see, they've lost another cannon. Those 220mm missiles are doing their best. Over here, they still have another cannon and another missile, so they're still going to try doing as much damage as they can. But if they don't take out those turrets, they're going to get torn apart. It appears the ship has lost a lot of its side thrust, so it's actually falling sideways. That's actually really bad for it, for a lot of reasons. Yeah, this battleship is going down. It's going down pretty hard. He might fall out of range of his missiles, so he might just take a massive hit to the side here. I mean, his wing here should brace most of the fall, but he's still going to take a lot of hits. Or just a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. The entire rear thruster just came off. I mean, he's still trying to do some damage, but I don't think he's going to be flying anymore. Yeah, I think this battle's pretty much over. The battleship is not operational at this point. So yeah, this fortress has successfully defended itself from a Delta battleship. Alright, so with that failure, now it's the pirates' turn to do some stuff. And for the first action, the pirates decided to do probably not the smartest thing. They decided to send their isolated fleet down here, which, you know, they had the opportunity to go after all these different planets up here and try to set up like a secondary space out here. But I guess because this fleet is entirely fighters, they don't really want it anymore, so they're just sending this fleet down to go and fight this fleet here. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but they're going to be fighting in some foggy canyons here. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting fight. I'll see you guys down there. Alright, here we are. This is going to be a really, really interesting fight. So, all of you over here in these foggy canyons, we are going to have just a simple fleet battle here. One fleet versus the other. So here's the three fighters that the Pirate Empire is going to send after Delta shipyards. And well, Delta shipyards over here, they've got an anti-fighter battleship, a corvette, and 3 fighters. So yeah, this is not going to go very well for the pirates, but you know, it'll be interesting to see what happens. So let's go and declare war and watch the fight. Here they go. Immediately, some of them are already starting to go up, and some of them are starting to go down. They might be trying to get out of the fog, they might not, who knows. There's definitely some railguns already starting to be fired. See, the fighters are trying to go up and out of the canyons here. They definitely don't want to be in the fog, because it makes it harder to see. And they're already starting to send all these rockets. If they're lucky, they might be able to take out some of those fighters. Those fighters are already starting to fire away with everything they've got. These fighters are not doing too well against an anti-fighter ship. They're just spewing out bullets at these. This Corvette needs to get up, or else it's going to crash into the ground here. There's that battleship trying to do whatever damage it can. I'm assuming they're going after debris down there, but they're not going to do very well crashing down there. We definitely might be after some debris. Yeah, there's a dead fighter over there. There's just one fighter left over there. Battleship is just staying down here for the time. See, all these are sticking together to the best of their ability. The other fighter over there should be coming back towards him. I mean, it's trying its best to stay alive here. He is being pushed away. That Corvette is pretty much just going down, trying to take out whatever debris they can find. Let's go and see if I can remove some of this debris to help them out. There we go. This should help them to chase new targets. Let's go and take a look at some of these. See, that one's dead. That one's still alive, and that one's pretty much just gone. See, he's on the ground, he's on the ground. Of all the fighters, he's still alive and intact. It's just that one fighter over there. And of course, there are 3 fighters going after him. If they're lucky, they might be able to win this. Either that, or the other ships are going to go up and try to help. All those missiles are very deadly. At least towards other fighters. Battleship is going up after him. There's a lot of bullets coming out towards this single fighter. Yep, just completely eliminated. Let's go see what ships are left. Got a fighter, all the fighters are alive. The battleship is fine, and the Corvette is fine. Alright, so there's no casualties on the red team. Unfortunately, the pirates have lost their entire fleet. So that's about it. I'll see you guys back at the board. Well, it's finally here. The Pirate Empire decided, you know what, let's finish the job. They've already just ruined the rest of the last chance that they had over here. But now, they're going to completely finish them off. They're sending their Charger battleship up to take out the last fortress on the Teal Snowfields. Rest in peace, Rogue Shipwrights. Maybe by some miracle, they might be able to fend off the battleship. But based on how the other two planets went, I don't think that's really going to be the case. We'll see what happens. Alright, here we are. We're in the Teal Snowfields here. You can see we have a base off in the distance. That's the Rogue Shipwrights' last base. They lose this, they're out completely. I mean, they already can't do anything. They're already just... They cannot survive. But after this, they're completely out of the game. They're 100% dead. Of course, they're facing off against the ship that pretty much single-handedly ended their entire empire. So, we're going to go ahead and see what happens here. Here comes the Charger. You can see, here we are at the base. Just going to try its best to defend itself against that battleship. Trying to fire a shot and I missed as the Charger starts to go up. A lot of missiles being fired. Pretty soon they're going to get within cannon range. Those torpedoes are very dangerous. I think the main gun has already been completely severed, so it's completely unable to fight back. It's just up to those turrets that are left now. But I don't know about you, but those turrets are probably not doing enough damage. This ship is extremely heavily armored. It's a lot of shots coming for it. And it's going full speed into the base here. That's a massive hit. Really just tearing this base apart, literally. It's a lot of damage. That battleship is barely even capable of flight at this point. It's lost a lot of its upwards thrust in those maneuvers. Remember, the base still has defenses, so the ship isn't really able to fly anymore, I don't think. I might be wrong, though. Is it still capable of flight? No, I don't think it is. It's trying, but it's not able to fly. So I guess the ship is basically defeated at this point. Well, the base is still alive, technically speaking. It took a lot of damage, but it's still alive. Yeah, that's a victory for Rogue Shipwrights there. Very close call, though. Alright, just finished going through all the factions here. Surprisingly, no exploration is really done. Most of the factions are just trying to deal with each other, so I'll go over exactly what has happened well, I already know what happened with the pirates. The pirates, they failed to do that. Their camp was building up. They did build up under their fleet. They were planning to make another battleship fleet, but they didn't have enough money, so they ended up just making this frigate fleet. 4 frigates, 6 fighters. It's a really formidable fleet of smaller ships, so that's really dangerous. They're probably going to move that around a bit. Now, the Great Red Sun Empire up here, what they've decided to do, just like I predicted, they decided we're not going to deal with that fortress world. They decided to just go around it and go this way, taking over this world here. I mean, they've pretty much just made a beeline straight down for Delta Shipyards, and Delta Shipyards is trying to deal with the pirates. They did fail to take away the planet, now they're having to deal with pirates. And this empire up here, that's really just, annoying them. At this point, I mean, it's just 2 fighters. But yeah, what they've decided to do over here, they've decided, we're going to go and attack the New Galactic Alliance again, because we really don't like this threat being right next to us, so they decided to just go straight down here with one of their smaller fleets, taking over this planet, and then they sent one of the other fleets from here, going this way, right next to their original homeworld again. They did take on Mining World, so the New Galactic Alliance is making even less money now, and really getting a lot of pressure from this side. I mean, they're really just being pushed back a lot. I mean, right now, if we look at the board here, I think it's really interesting. I think there's 3 factions are currently the strongest. We have the Great Red Sun Empire, which is really strong as it is right now. I mean, they've got a really good hold against the Alliance down there, and they are actually going down and fighting Delta Shipyards, which is pretty impressive. The Federation is really putting up a good front. They're really trying to defend themselves along this point here, where the New Galactic Alliance is really pushing on them. They've also gone straight towards the middle here, which is pretty good for them, making a bit of money, but that makes them really vulnerable to attack from quite literally everyone. I mean, the Alliance can just go straight down there, and the Pirates can also go that way. They're really having to deal with the Pirates down here, because the Pirates are going to push up eventually. And of course, Rogue Shipwrights, their little fortress there, is somehow still alive. I don't know how they managed to win that fight with the battleship, but by some miracle, that fortress is still there. Jonfield over there is still alive, and although they have 1 planet left, so they decided to build 3 entire fleets, and they're going to use that to their advantage to try and survive for as long as possible. Delta right now, they're not really the most powerful. I mean, they were really powerful at one point, but they did lose a battleship to a level 1 fortress. And they're really being pushed back by the Great Red Sun Empire, so they're really not doing well there. I mean, if anything, those fighters might just rush to their homeworld, which is not good. They really need to build up their forces and really push up and to the right a little bit. I mean, if anything, they might as well just try to expand up this way if they want to try to survive. So yeah, that's about it. That's everything that's going on here. I'll see you guys in the next episode, and we'll see what happens with those 2 factions next time, alright? See ya, take care, and have a good one.